Okay, good evening, guys. Welcome to Freewheeling Fridays. Yet another Friday, yet another Freewheeling Friday today for us. We have a special guest joining us momentarily, so we will make a little bit of introduction about that. But other than that, so happy to be here. So this is a new initiative that Java Capital is doing, where we are trying to open up the conversations with all of you guys simultaneously. If you're listening to us on or watching us on YouTube or Periscope, you can participate in the conversation. So feel free to type anything in the chat. We'll be sure to get to it. We will also display the chat up here on the screen so everybody can see it. It could be as simple as hi, hello, right? It doesn't have to be anything complicated, but it can also be a little bit complicated if you would like to discuss any specific event that has happened in the startup ecosystem, or even anything in particular on your mind that you wanted to talk about, right? I am joined right now by my partner, Vinod Shankar. Hey, Vinod.
Hey Karthik, good to be back with a Freewheeling Friday.
Yes.
As you said, right, we have an exciting guest, who's been dodging us for a couple
For
of
the
weeks.
last 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. So we finally have him. I think it should be an exciting conversation.
I think we have another announcement, right? I think today it's just going to be the two of us and the special guest. So Bhargavi is not going to join us today in this freewheeling.
I know. You should also tell the reason, why she's not joining. Happy Navratri to everyone who's celebrating. And Bhargavi is celebrating all out, so she's not even willing to come on freewheeling Friday. She may pop in, for all you know, because of the fear of missing out. And last week also she mentioned, there could be an announcement. So, I mean, I want to hold her.
Yeah, she's basically hiding her face
Hiding her
right
face,
now.
not making that announcement. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And
She was literally begging for the thing to finish this week. Yeah, God has other plans.
yes. Always, same man plans or lawyers, dispose in this case.
Correct. So we have quite a few guys online right now. Vinod, why don't we just ask a question to them, right? Where are you guys signed up from? Just the city's name. You can just chat with us. That's one way of doing the
I
conversation. So
think our
feel free
audience,
to.
yeah, our audience is pretty shy, Karthik. So yeah,
No. Yeah, we're gonna arm twist you guys. I think you have to at least tell us where you guys are logging in from.
I think people are going to log off, with rebooting to their.
No, we do have some familiar faces, man, in the audience. I'm not gonna call them out, but you know who you are. So you better be answering right now.
Okay, so with all your veiled threats, I don't think it's going to come now. Yeah. Yeah. So Karthik, I think the surprise guest should join any moment. I am as excited to have this surprise guest today. And a little background, right? I'll tell you. I met him, less than a year and a half, I think, at a third wave in HSR layout. Just starting up like another an entrepreneur, and in like 1.5 years, is has achieved quite a lot. Frankly, when I saw his recent tweets, right, I was like, oh man, that's quite a bit. You could sense the hustle and also the pace at which this person operates or guest operates is phenomenal. In some
Mhm.
sense, I think at Java Capital we are envious, of him.
No, don't say it out loud, man.
Healthy competition, keep people on the toes. And I'm just saying it out
Yes,
because
yes.
it's healthy, good competition. That's the kind of the person, right? Good friends of Java, obviously. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So why don't we just put the spotlight on this special guest, right? Hey Kushal, welcome.
Hey,
Hi, Vinod. Hi, Karthik. Thanks for
hey,
having me, and thanks for the kind words.
Finally, man.
hey, Kushal, you heard me, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I heard the
Yeah, he did.
the introduction. Yes.
It's, thank
More
you,
than
thank
kind.
you. That's really from the heart, right? Straight away, right? There's nothing, no hiding, right? I just said as I felt, right? I mean, thanks for coming, Kushal. And I was also telling earlier to our viewers, right? Kushal's been dodging us for the last couple of weeks.
So
So
my bad. Just been a crazy couple of months. So every time I committed to you, and then something came up, and I had to sort of reschedule.
yeah,
But
yeah. So this is
happy to finally
freewheeling.
do it.
No, this is freewheeling. So we will let know those things also. Okay.
Yeah.
uh, Kushal, thanks again. Thanks once again. For making it. And firstly, I want to congratulate. I know I'm not officially done this or I've not messaged this. Congratulate on 50 plus deals at first check. I think that's phenomenal, right? When I look at the number and also the pace at which you've done. I was just recalling, right? I met you like a year and a half ago at the HSR
Correct.
third wave, and
Yes.
yeah, third wave, and we were discussing the nuances of which ones to go with. Do you want to go with fund one, fund two, what mechanisms, and you were discussing, and you've not decided yet, right? And from then to now, right, when I look back, obviously both of us have changed in a sense. I'm no more with the same place that I was when I spoke,
Yeah.
and the pace of deal making, right, has been phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and I was telling Karthik, right, there is another person whom I admire a lot in the US called Elizabeth, runs this fund called Hustle. I'm sure you are also aware,
Yes.
right?
Hustle fund, right? Yes.
Yeah, Hustle Fund. So I know them. I know I've spoken to Elizabeth a couple of times, and I mean they operate at that great speed, right? Like they decide in less than a week, is what she used to tell me.
Yeah.
And wire money. And Cindy also is another good friend. Capital X. She also operates like a phenomenal speed. Again, she does public diligence. And
Yeah.
I want to ask you, what's behind this ability to make deals at this pace and speed? What's that? What's the secret? I'm asking the secret almost now. Yeah.
So I told you, right, like the model we have is we have a network of founder angels that we trust really well. We call them our venture partners. These are all folks who have built a company and sold it, or people who have operated a tech company at scale. Guys like Apramaya from Taxi for Sure, Farooq from Find, Vidit from Misho. All of them have had like significant outcomes in their life, more than significant outcomes, and wherever they invest, we just co-invest with them. So even if I don't understand the business, or if I think it's a bad idea, if one of these guys is doing a deal, I will still do it with them. So because of that, we are able to move fairly fast, and the reasoning is that if you look at cap tables of most unicorns in India, China, US, anywhere in the world, typically they have raised their first rounds from other founder angels, and that pattern has played out again and again. And this is because of three reasons. Like, one is that founder angels already have great deal flow. Anybody in their network or an exchange network starts a company, chances are they'll come and pitch to them for advice, mentorship, or maybe an investment also. Secondly, because they have built and run a VC business, they understand how these markets work, what is fundable, what is not fundable, what is scalable, what is not scalable, and they're able to make that judgment call very fast. And because they also run a tech company in a domain, at least in their own domain, they're able to foresee what's coming next, where the gaps lie, what else should exist, and so on. So because, and often they invest in people they know. So it's a employee who's leaving to startup, or a batchmate from college, or somebody they have worked with in some capacity in the past, right? So for us, those are the best bets. Like, whether when we get a deal from a founder angel who says that I know this person, he worked with me for 4 years or 5 years, and now he or she is starting their own company, and I want to back them. For us, that's a done deal. So most of our investments are sourced by the founder angels, and because of that, I just do like one call. I make sure it's a VC fundable space. If there's some ref checks that need to be done, or some basic due diligence that needs to be done, I'll get that done fast. But the judgment is, we heavily rely on the founder angel for their judgment. So that's sort of how we move fast.
Awesome. That's I think a fundamentally different model you've got in Kushal. I think for our guests, right? I just want to tell again. Look, Kushal Bhagia is a founder CEO of First Check, prolific pre-seed seed stage investor who runs First Check almost single-handedly, if I may say. Again, for all our guests, who are participating. So that leads me to this other interesting question, right? Like very anecdotal. This one. What will be your fastest deal? In this 50 days, right? What's like, I mean, did you do it in a snap?
Yeah, there was one deal where I spoke to the founder on Thursday and Monday we had wired the money. That one was the fastest one.
Is it public yet? Or
yeah, it's Kagas, the dog scanning app.
Awesome.
Because they got like the cam scanner got banned and these guys started getting crazy downloads, and we knew that they will soon raise a larger round. So we had to like move fast, get in as soon as possible. And we knew the guys also already. Like I had spoken to them a year back when they were doing something else, so I knew that it was a good team. And then a venture partner called up saying that I know these guys, I want to fund them, and they needed money also ASAP to capitalize on the China ban. So we had to move extra fast for them.
Awesome. I mean, that's probably the fastest deal ever done. Potentially, I mean, I really don't know if that maybe even the second fastest that you'd have done, still would beat everybody hands down.
I hope our portfolio companies founders are not hearing this right now.
Yeah. Kushal, you should not talk to our portfolio founders. And obviously, Kushal is part of one of our portfolio companies, and potentially, we are working together on the second portfolio company. So, Kushal knows our speed. Definitely. So Kushal, one other thing, right? In the current environment, right? Because both of us are operating in a similar space. I think what's your take on the frenzied pace of deal making that's happening? In a sense, you also alluded to it, right? Founders taking money from founders first, right? That's happening at like a frenzied pace, right? Sometimes we are not able to really catch it or take a breath. And the deal is closed, even before we could take a breath, right? That's happening. What's driving this? You think? I'm sure you've been a part of a couple of deals recently. What's driving this? What's changed fundamentally? From the past that's driving this kind of frenzy. If I may call it as frenzy, maybe it may not be the right word, but I can sense this accelerated sense of deal making, especially founders funding other founders in the pre-seed angel space.
So I think, we have sort of crossed how do I put it? Like we have crossed a big barrier now in the last 4-5 years in sense of what we can accomplish as Indians in India. I really believe that, because if you take like our parents' generation or even till say 7-8 years back, right? If you wanted to start a business in this country, your best hope was that some uncle, chacha, mama will give you some money if you come from that background, or a bank might give you a loan, right? So it was only for a very specific class of people who were either from business families, basically business families, right? Like either your first Hello, can you guys hear me?
Kushal, you are back. We can hear you now. Yeah, you were saying family, Mamaji's funding companies.
Yeah, so till I think 5 to 10 years back, if you wanted to start a business in India, you only had a shot if you came from the right circles. That has now changed, because if you went to an IIT or you went to an IIM, the goal now after from IIT Bombay is now no longer to go to Stanford and go join Google, right? Like the cool thing to do now is to start a company. So people have started, and they have seen this happen once. They've seen the Bansals make it big with Flipkart. They've seen Snapdeal happen, Ola happen, Urban Class. A bunch of people who are like them till 10 years back are now billionaires. Hello? Yeah.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So that has really like sort of like inspired their imagination. Like bunch of engineers who can build stuff now believe that I can also build a business. So then just the volume of startups has exploded. That is one. And like the mentality that that we can also build a business and make it something really big and world class. I think that has like truly that is something new for sure. Second thing is just the macro trends are also all with us. Everybody has a mobile, everybody has internet, people have UPI, people are trying stuff all the time. So the amount of effort it needs to launch something and take it to market is going down, 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 down. In fact, I feel that in the next 10 years we'll probably see the first single person $1 billion company, because there's so many things are automated, there's so many tools, so many things that you can build on top of, that you don't even need that many people, right? So these two things, I think, like in India's case, for example, it's UPI, it's Jio, everybody getting a phone, everybody getting a bank account, and so on. That has really exploded the use cases for software. The software has gone from something that, like in India at least, it was a top 1% use case. It has gone from that to 500 million people using software, right? So the market itself has exploded. So these two things, I think, the mentality shift and the growth in the market is why there is definitely opportunity. Sometimes I think we are all underestimating it. Like even despite the frenzy, right? The general sentiment in the VC community is that we will like totally get 100 unicorns in India. I think the current number is somewhere around 40, 50, right? Maybe 50 more are supposed to come. We could be off by 10x also. I think like it's possible, because now you have things like White Hat Junior going and selling in the US.
Yes.
Postman built out a UPI, like a API tool for the whole world sitting in India. So if stuff like that starts happening, then there is no upper cap to what can happen from this ecosystem.
Yeah, interesting, Kushal. I mean, I wish the 10x happens. We at least get 1x of that. Between us. Yeah, Karthik. Yeah, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Vinod. Kushal, I think that this is something that you touched upon earlier, right? The pace is one thing, and the competition in the space, right? So that's another thing, right? But more importantly, for investors like us, we need to stay ahead of the curve, right? We have to think about what is the next big thing. Where is the disruption going to come from? What is the innovation? So when you're investing at this pace, right? What are like one or two things that you do to stay ahead?
So for us, really, it comes down to the venture partners. Like we feel that they have a great network already, and they are often able to sort of see these trends before. Like Kagas, for example, I had no idea that this app had launched and it had got crazy traction, right? But one of the venture partners knew the founder. They were his batchmate from college. They regularly were updating him, and he just called me saying, "Dude, these guys are seeing a crazy uptake now. We should move fast." So we have like at least 3-4 good founders in every major city in India, from every major domain. There's SaaS, it's fintech, edtech, e-commerce, like you name it. We know people. We have good venture partners in each of those domains, and they really are like our eyes and ears, and they watch out for stuff. As soon as they see something interesting, then we make a move. So for us, that is really the edge. Like keep adding more and more active venture partners in different startup communities across the country.
And Kushal, just to get a sense, right? How many applications? I don't know if applications is the right word to describe it, but how many companies do you see in a month coming from your venture partners? Does it ever happen that you go ahead and say, "Hey, look, we may not be able to invest in a particular company"?
So there it's sort of sporadic, to be honest, from the venture partners side, because they're also running their own businesses, right? So some months they're extra busy with other work, and some months they have time for angel investing,
Right.
and sometimes maybe for 6 months they just don't like anything that comes their way. But see, we do on average, finally we do 3 to 4 deals every month, and those are usually all sourced by the venture. At least 70% would be coming from the venture partners. 30% are deals which came to me, and then I sent it to them, and they evaluated and decided to invest. But they themselves, like if they send me a deal, they see at least, I think, 10x of what they send me. So the other 9x are sort of the ones that we pass on. And then me personally, I speak to maybe I would say around anywhere from 7 to 10 companies a week is what I try to do. Sometimes it goes below, sometimes it goes more, but maybe 5 to 7 companies a week is, I think, a more realistic number. That's what I try and hit. So yeah, maybe like 35-40 companies a month is what I meet, and out of that, those are companies which I filter, and then some of them I send to the venture partners. They evaluate, and then we may decide to do the deal.
Interesting. And Kushal, the stage that we invest in, right? Like you or us, mostly pre-seed and seed stage, right?
Yeah.
Do you think the quantity actually matters at this stage? Looking at the number of companies that you're investing in, right? To be able to justify the kind of returns that you could on the at the portfolio level.
So you said the quantity.
Quantity, yeah.
I think quantity for sure matters at this early stage, because we are at the high. We are probably the highest risk asset there is, right? Pre-seed stage,
Right.
startup stage. Often it's just two folks with a laptop. That's it. Like, they have no product. They've done nothing. Like, it's very often just two folks, with an idea that we want to build this. And we
Mhm.
have funded those kind of teams also, where it's just a paper plan. So everything can fail from there on, right? The founders might fight, the product may never get shipped. Even if it gets shipped, the market may not accept it. Even if it accepts it, there may not be a large enough market for it. Maybe the VCs don't see it, and they are never able to raise money. Or maybe the VCs go and back some other space, some other player in the same space, and hence they are not able to raise money. So there are like 1,000 things that can go wrong, million things that can go wrong after our stage, right? So I do feel that, like, there is you do need quantity for sure to be able to make it, because
Yeah.
even the best founders will sometimes get stuck in a market which just doesn't. It's like you hitting your head against a wall, right? Like, no matter
Mm.
who you are, the wall's not going to break. Yeah, there are things that happen which are out of like, a lot of founders, things happen to them that are out of their control also, where that this person tried their very best. The product was good, the founder was good, but it just doesn't click. So yeah, I think quantity definitely matter from investors POV. Quantity definitely matters.
So, Kushal, one more
Got
anecdote.
it.
Now that you've done 50, quantity matters. What should we expect from you over the next year? Should I say 100, 200? What's the number that you are gunning for?
So our original plan was to do 100 over 3 years, and it's been a little over a year and a half. So we are on track. So I think by this time next year, or maybe by end of next year, we would hit 100 startups.
Yeah, I think founders who are listening. Look, there's space for 50 more companies, and Kushal can decide in 4 days or 3 days rather, and wire the money also.
Yeah, no, happy to meet any good founders that like. So the best way to raise money, I've written out a manual actually on how to raise money from first check, and there are founders who took it. Like, most founders still don't get it, because other funds don't operate like this, right? Like, other funds don't have a CEO who says that I don't actually decide, you should go pitch to these guys. So people still come to me, and then I tell them the same thing. So that's why I wrote out a blog saying, listen, here's how you can hack this and raise money from first check. A bunch of smart founders figured it out, and they took it to, and they went ahead and pitched, and they got the money. Like, at least 3 or 4 founders after I wrote that blog have actually followed those instructions and raised money from first check. So yeah, I would say just read the blog. It's very, very clear on how we operate, what is the kind of money we can give you, what stage we come in at, what type of companies we like. It will sort of help you understand whether we are a good fit for you, and if you want to approach us, how to do it. And yeah, just go by what I said in the blog.
So Kushal, in your 50 company investments, right, what will be some of the learnings, both good and bad? I mean, we want to hear. When I say bad, I'm saying, look, what should somebody not do, or what should somebody do from a founder's point of view, right? What would you kind of what's the learning that you would have had in that, right? What's the good stuff? What the founder should not do, or what the founder should both. 50 companies, a lot of experience.
From what they should do, like, one recurring lesson I'm seeing is that a lot of founders get distracted by the fundraise and don't have enough movement on the product because of the fundraise or because of other, like, people tend to forget that the fundraise is like an intermediate goal, right? The final goal is to build a large business with a great product. And people all just, like, they get too fixated on the actual mechanics of the fundraise, the valuation, the terms, blah blah blah, and they'll forget that I actually have something to ship which I haven't done yet. And so that's one big lesson, and it's a cycle, because if you take too long to close, right, and your product also not launched, then people start to back out. So I've seen that happen too many times, where the founder just sort of got sucked in completely into the fundraise, and it didn't work out, and it just sort of shut down. Second is that, like, it's a little difficult, but founders should also have some kind of realistic expectations of where they are. So because there's a deal frenzy going on, right? Every founder thinks that I should also go and raise a VC round right away. Most founders think that I can do it, and it's a good idea to pitch, because only downside is they'll say no, right? That's fine. They'll at least you'll hear the reason why they want to invest, or what else you have to do. So that's fine. But too many founders, I feel, get fixated that I will only raise if I get a VC round, or I need minimum $1 million to start this business. I cannot start this with 2 crores. Like, I feel like that, like, investors want to see a bias for action. They want to see you build stuff, launch stuff, grow stuff. And if they see that happening, then investors will come. So too many founders get fixated on how to hack the investing process, and not enough founders are fixated on how to actually build products and grow them. That is sort of the one learning which I had, like, over the I'm pretty sure this pattern is repeating again and again over the past 1 year.
No, I think that's a great piece of thought, Kushal, because I think my sense also is that bias for action. Don't worry too much about valuation. I think that's like a very strong sense that even I am kind of finding. I think me and Karthik and Bhargavi internally also, right, we're kind of keep grappling with those kind of situations where founders are so bent on getting what they really want from the valuation alone, in some sense, right? So,
Yeah.
very interesting. And what would be like really good things that you observed from founders in operating with 50 founders, Kushal? I think what's like the what would you say which makes it like extremely interesting from the ecosystem point of view? What are you seeing in the founders? What really is happening?
So I am constantly pleasantly surprised by the tenacity of founders. Like, how do I explain? Like, like, so once in a while you'll get an update mail from a company, and they would have done something so brilliant. Like, I would like fuck, why did I think of this? Like, it's such a great idea, right? Right? And that's the hustle. Like, I know founders who were like, who've been struggling for 4 years, and like now something has started working, right? So the tenacity, the persistence, the hustle, like, I'm like constantly taken aback by, wow, like, this is what I've understood is this is not on a linear scale. It's not on the scale of 1 to 10 how much of a hustler are you. This is infinite. Like, people keep hustling more, and it keeps compounding also. There's no limit to like what people can do, and there are some founders who genuinely believe that, like, I can do anything, and they do, and they've done it. Like, it's pretty crazy, the kind of hustle we get to see. Like, it doesn't happen with every team, but some teams, after a year of working with them, you realize that, okay, these guys are special. They don't have any mental block on what they can or cannot do.
Awesome, Kushal. That's great to hear. Thanks for that. Karthik, you have
I have a couple of questions before I let Kushal go, right? One question, Kushal, is about your model, right? Do you guys ever go solo when you're investing in a company?
Yes, we have done that. There have been a few deals where we were the only investors or only major investors, and there were like only 2-3 other angels. Like, we had done a silver jewelry brand called Jiva early last year, in I think June, July last year. They are doing exceptionally well now. They've raised 2-3 rounds after we did it, and that was a small, like, 50 lakh type round. Most of it came from First Check and a syndicate. And there are even Kagas. When we did it, it was just us. They had done one small round from Axelor a year back for a different product, but in our round it was just First Check. So yeah, like, if the founder, our venture partner, has strong conviction, right, we will do it if it's only us.
Got it. And my next question.
Just one sort of caveat on that is that most teams who come to us need 2 or 3 crore rupees as their first check, right? Then we help them syndicate that. We give the commitment, and then we also introduce them to lead investors, friends like you, other syndicates in the ecosystem that can sort of help us fill in the round.
Right.
So that I do quite often. I mean, almost every month I try and help at least one team put together their round.
Got it. Got it. And my other question, Kushal, is something that caught your eye this week. It could be from our startup ecosystem, or it could be something really pertinent. You think
I
for
think
us,
yesterday's
broadly speaking.
WhatsApp announcement was super cool. They finally, I don't know what they were up to, but they finally launched commerce on the platform. So yeah, that looks super exciting. I think all the Dukan Tech startups in India will be looking at them and wondering how that's going to impact, their business. But yeah, WhatsApp is finally like Facebook has finally made like significant moves towards monetizing WhatsApp. So that I think for the Indian ecosystem, that nothing can be bigger than that.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Kushal, I think you have an opportunity to ask us a question, before I let you go off. This is supposed to be free. So we always allow the guests to ask a question, anything, and, you can put us on the spot. We just don't want to be one way as much as possible, but, it just happens usually.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, we chat fairly often, right? So I'm not sure what to ask you now on. But yeah, I mean,
Put him on spot, Kushal. Now is the chance.
I would ask you the same question you just asked me. What is the most interesting thing you saw in the last week? Something that caught your eye?
So strangely, right? You mentioned about Dukan Tech, right? I've been looking at that. What's happening in that space? The court cases, and another article that just came out, and the back and forth between them. That's caught my eye actually. Really, the other thing, Kushal, I would say, look, as the Clubhouse coming to India, right? In the last couple of weeks, that's been strange. And this week, particularly, right, there have been so many conversations happening in Clubhouse.
Very VCs like me can't attend Clubhouse. We are all on Android.
So look, now I keep telling this, right? I was telling someone, look, this is Clubhouse's strategy to sell more iPhones in India. And today I saw some announcement. Somebody is doing, more EMIs on iPhones or something like that. And this is a good strategy. Right? People are saying, can you spare me your old iPhone now? Literally, that's happening in some of the chats and groups, right? So that's happening. I think that those things, interesting conversations happening on Clubhouse. There are very few VCs, and I want to tell the world now, this is a good opportunity, Kushal, for us to tell. Not all VCs are rich and have iPhones. Okay.
In fact, like if you're a VC and you don't have Android, I quite judge you, man. In India, like what are you seeing then? Because every startup that comes pitches to us is on Android, right? Android is the OS of choice for most of India. So yeah, even if I buy an iPhone, I can't get rid of my Android for sure.
Thanks, man. Thanks for judging both of us.
I do have an Android though. It's not mine; it's my dad's. But I have access to Android.
Good try, Karthik, to show that you're a VC. Yeah. In India, I can also do that. No, I have my old phone, which is an Android phone. Okay.
Yeah. We're not completely out of touch.
Because for me, like most old males, right? Like I only take the call if the guy has built something and I can try the product, because that itself is a huge barrier.
Right,
otherwise, you get so many mails, right? Every day, 10 people ping you saying, "I have this idea, I want that." That means nothing, right? Until I see the ability to build in the founder, it's just a waste of time in most cases. So my first step is always show me a product, I want to try it, and then I'll talk to you.
Interesting. No, I think that's a good. We should use that, Karthik. Maybe that's a good takeaway. Filter it, not just look at decks and ideas. It's interesting. Hey, thanks, Kushal. I know you dodged us, but we finally got you. You can't dodge us. I think it's been like an amazing conversation in a sense to understand, how to do funding at scale. Frankly, right? This is funding at scale. Frankly, we always keep talking about scaling for startups, and this is, scaling at funding, right? I think that's probably, one of the few investors in India who's done it at the scale and in the short period of time, which is like less than 18 months, frankly, right? Amazing to have you, and we look forward to partner with you. We've done a couple of transactions. We hope to do more with you, and all the best for hitting the 100 shortly. And a bunch of unicorns in them. And we will keep coming back, and doing more freewheeling sessions with you, in the coming months. And look forward to working with you. Thanks for coming.
Thanks so much for the kind words. Looking forward to do a lot more deals with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kushal.
Awesome, Kushal. Thank you.
Thanks, Karthik. Thanks, Vinod. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye bye.
Ah.
That was an interesting conversation that was long pending,
Yeah. I
right?
think Kushal has been like graciously agreed because this time, he just said, I will do this time and I will not miss it, right? I'm like thankful.
Right.
Yeah. So, Karthik, nice segue with the guest itself. You did, what caught our eye this week. And so I told you what caught. Actually, there's a lot of things that caught my eye this week, but these were like where I'm spending time on Clubhouse, or I'm looking at this what's happening in the Dukan Tech, as Kushal was pointing out. I think those two caught my eyes, and there's a bunch of fundraising conversations in here that keep happening, right? What caught your eye? You should have something slightly different, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Vinod, I was just thinking about it, right? I mean, one thing that really caught my eye is actually I'm sure you also know this, right? A lot of Indian companies have been preparing for interviews at Y Combinator. So, that's a good thing that is happening right now, this week, on a positive note, right? And the other thing that really caught my eye is the brand change of SAFE, from SAFE to Elevation Capital, right? So
Yeah.
this is not something new, right? I mean, there have been funds who have changed their brand names before. I think famously, the path breaker would be Kalari, right? It used to be a Indo-US Partners, and then it became Kalari. Even Matrix also, right? I think earlier, or Axel, I think earlier it was called
IDG, yeah, you mentioned right. IDG
ID.
is
Karate.
Sirate now, Kalari
Yeah.
and Seth.
Yeah, and also a little less known is Unitary Helion, which started out as Unitary Helion, now is Arkham Ventures. So just I was wondering, like, what would be the reason why these funds would change names?
I think it's pretty clear, Karthik. The pattern's clear. We've seen it from the inside, and we can see it from the outside also, right?
Yeah,
Most of these funds had a father or a mother based out of somewhere else in the world. So that's how the name was, Indo-US, NEA, or be it SAF. SAF is actually interesting if you notice, right? SAF was actually SoftBank.
SoftBank. Yeah,
SoftBank Asia Internet Fund or something like that. That's what it was
correct.
stood for.
Yeah,
Many years ago, that's basically Bharati Airtel kind of brought in this SAF as an investment vehicle, and some collaboration happened. Long story, I don't know the full details, but that's how SAF started. And then I think maybe this is they're morphing into an India fund. Or a homegrown fund, if you wish. That's how people kind of call it today, right? There's no father, mother anymore. In a way, the adoption is done with. Now you are a independent, standalone, India-focused fund, which also shows the maturity of the ecosystem. So Kalari happened in 2011. Chirate happened a couple of years ago, and Elevation is happening now. So which is showing the strength of the ecosystem, to stand and build large homegrown funds, and not necessarily that we need foreign or international affiliation all the time. I think I see it as like a very positive development in the ecosystem. Great to have more India funds and fund our founders. Hopefully, eventually, some of it translates also into domestic LPs putting money into some of these funds, not just foreign capital. Yeah.
right. I think that's an interesting point, Vinod. In fact, this is something that we were also discussing earlier with Kushal, right? A lot of founders becoming investors themselves, right?
Yeah.
But what we're seeing is not all of these founders are actually becoming LPs into funds. Rather, they want to stay close to the companies that they're investing in. So they want to be able to, decide and actively participate in the companies that they are going to invest in, right? Which is sort of an interesting sentiment, which is understandable to some extent, right? Because founders are more likely to empathize with younger founders who are starting out on their journeys. So this is what caught my attention this week, and also finally, right, a quick I have a couple of shout outs. One is shout out to Sciency founder Sankit Ratan, for raising their Series A, from led by Arkham Ventures. Way to go, guys! I've also congratulated you on text, Ankit. But again, we wanted to recap and acknowledge that, right? We had some relationship at Kalari. You being a Kalari funded company, and the time coincided for both Vinod and I with your fund day. So congratulations on that. And a second shout out is to a certain somebody who sent me. You want to take a guess, Vinod?
That's tonic water.
It's Perrier.
Perrier, sorry, sheesh. Okay, I should have guessed it easier.
Yeah. Do you want to take a guess who? This showed up at my friend desk this morning, right? I mean, I was least expecting that, and it came as a really pleasant surprise for me this morning. Do you want to take a guess?
It should be one of our batchmate from Kalari Fellows. I'm very, very sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And you should be able to get the name also, really.
I can try hard. This could be Sid, is it?
No. Just one
Bhavik.
more. Yes, exactly. So
Yeah.
Bhavik. So Bhavik sent me this. I don't know why he sent it, but I'm sure I deserve it.
Yeah. Next time he comes on freewheeling, we'll ask him.
Yeah.
Bhavik
Yeah.
Mehta is a good friend. So Karthik, any interesting topic that's caught the attention? I'm surprised. We didn't notice this WhatsApp thing that
Correct.
right. So commerce opens up on WhatsApp. I rather saw something like
It's still not open in India though, Vinod. I think it's right now it's in a few geographies that they opened it up.
I noticed another thing on WhatsApp. You can mute someone forever now, forever.
Isn't that good?
Great feature. A lot of people are looking for it. So we have that feature. You can mute anyone forever now. Just like in life, you wouldn't want to see them again. So,
Correct. Yeah.
Awesome, Karthik. I think that's a good note.
That does it for us. From all of us at Java,
I just
including
want to
YTV.
sorry, go on.
Go ahead.
I want to make one announcement. We are looking at our next batch of angel investing course. Take a look at our Twitter handles or our websites. You can express your interest to join our next batch. The dates are not yet decided. Please go to javacapital.co and click on angel investor course, and you will see your ability to express interest. Our next batch should be coming up shortly in the next couple of weeks. We will announce the dates shortly. We are looking forward to having more educated, informed angel investors in the Indian startup ecosystem. And also, I would be proud to say, by now we've done like 4 cohorts of this angel investing course and potentially created 50 to 60 angel investors, in this country. And I think that's something that I'm really proud of, Karthik. Yeah.
No, absolutely, Vinod. I think that's a fantastic sort of a statistic to put out there, right? I was, like I said earlier before to you, right? It's a pleasant surprise to me as well. It's just amazing, what we've been able to accomplish in a short span of time. So for those of you who are interested in angel investing, we're going to start, like Vinod said, we're going to start a new batch in November. The date we will announce soon. All you have to do is just go to the website, click on Angel Investor Course, and then you just have to fill a form here so that it opened up in a different tab. So once you fill the form, we just ask a few questions about what's your name and why you want to invest, and what motivates you to invest, and so on and so forth. And let us know if you're interested. We're going to be screening because we're getting a lot of interest, like we did in the last batch as well. So we had to screen quite a bit. So please, if you're interested, just go and log in here. One of us will get back to you, and do a little bit of introduction and maybe ask a little bit about why you want to invest in Swan and so forth, right? But broadly speaking, it's 8 online modules. It's going to be webinars, live webinars, with all three of us from Java Capital. So we'll be covering various aspects of angel investing. You can see the syllabus here on this page. Just go to javacapital.co/angel-investor-course. As always, if you have any questions, you can just write back to us at hello@javacapital.co, and we'll be more than happy to get back to you with our responses. So that does it for today, Vinod. Once again, from me, from Vinod and Bhargavi and everybody else at Java Capital, happy Dussehra. Enjoy your holidays responsibly. Please stay at home as much as possible. Don't forget your masks, and keep sanitizing your hands just to keep COVID at bay, and enjoy these holidays, right? Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Bye bye.
Okay. See you next week, guys. Bye bye.